let us see the questions that we have to discuss today. What role do the concept of evil and profane play to provide a firm foundation to religion? That is one question. Question of 2016. एक बार जरा क्वेश्चन 2016 का पढ़िए. Because please read question of 2016.
Critically discuss the view that modern
sensibility.
Modern sensibility and total disobedience.
Total obedience.
Total obedience to a despotic God do
Hmm.
not go hand in hand.
तो ये किसका क्वेश्चन हो सकता है?
Modern sensibility.
Yes.
Attributes of God.
Huh? Total obedience. Anybody who can link this question with our syllabus?
Sir, reason and
Yes,
religion का
correct. ये faith का है और ये. So this was a question on reason and faith. कई लोग इसको problem of evil का समझ लिए थे. Modern sensibility is based on what? What are they appealing to? Reason. Total obedience means faith. So this is a reason versus faith question. Some points definitely you will write from problem of evil. Some questions definitely you will be writing from religion without God also. But primarily this was a question of reason versus faith. Anyways. So this was the second thing I wanted to show. Next. तो इसलिए अभी तक जो आप लोगों को क्वेश्चन में लगता था कि इट इज अ सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन, सब्जेक्टिव कुछ नहीं होता इन फिलोसफी ऑफ रिलीजन. इट इज जस्ट दैट वी हैव प्रॉब्लम इन आइडेंटिफाइंग द थीम. नाउ सी क्वेश्चन 31. If God does not exist, then why should one be moral all the time? This is question of
Sir, religion and morality.
Religion and morality. Okay. That is again one common mistake everybody made. If God does not exist, why should we be moral at all the time? Religion and morality में the idea is not that this is not religion without God and morality. This is not the case. Because if God does not exist, does it mean that that religion is not existing? Is God equal to religion? Yes.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Only for a theistic God we can say. तो फिर ये actually में this is an argument given by yes. If God does not exist, anything is permissible. Is an argument given by so this is an argument given by atheists or problem of evil. If people from evil are saying God does not exist, if God is not existing, then everything is possible or not? Anything is permissible. You can do anything you want. Right? If God does not exist, God is the upholder of morality. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
हाँ जी, sir.
और अगर God exist नहीं कर रहे हैं तो there is no moral law to break. If there is no moral law to break, everything is permissible. You need not be moral all the time, but that morality exists. shows what? Because morality exists, it disproves the argument given by the atheists. So just like problem of evil is a bitter theist for sorry, problem of evil is a bitter pill for theists to follow. Similarly, problem of evil's reconciliation with morality is a bitter pill for atheists. How do they reconcile morality if God does not exist? They will try to make arguments about secular morality, etc., but it can be easily refuted. So this is not a question of religion and morality as everybody thought and uska content फिर ठीक से लिख नहीं पाए. ये actually में this statement is given by Sartre. Existentialist क्या कहते हैं? God is dead. What do they mean when they say God is dead?
So choice and responsibility of man.
Yes, they will be talking about the choice and responsibility. That means we are the makers of the morality. There is no divine providence for morality. There is no divine laws. There is no law of karma, etc. We make our choices and we take responsibility for our actions. If that be the case, then why should we be moral? Anything is permissible. However, the moral law exists, and the moral law's existence shows that God exists. Okay, so we will definitely try to write this question. So what happens is, in many of these topics in philosophy of religion, we interpret the question with the wrong theme, and then therefore, despite writing good answer from the notes, we do not get marks. So these are the questions we are going to write today. Concept of evil, what role it plays. Then one question we will be writing of God-world relation. What is non-theological concept of God? How is it different from theological concept of God? Discuss with arguments. So start writing question number 1. What role do the concept of evil and profane play to provide a firm foundation to religion? 5:28 to 5:40. 12 minutes I am giving. Start writing. What role do the concept of evil and profane play to provide a firm foundation to religion? Written. Okay. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Theologically, evil is that which is contrary to God's will. ऐसा कैसे कहा आपने? Non-theologically, evil is physical pain, mental suffering, and moral wickedness. अच्छा. Even theologically, the second part is there. Okay. I'll explain. We'll do 3 attributes and how evil will be challenging them. We'll do that.
Okay. Yes.
What is this Aquivinian theodicy?
सर वो
Theodicy.
एक्वाइनस वाली जो है ना, मतलब सेंट एक्वाइनस ने जो दी.
अच्छा, you are talking about the theodicy's explanation, है ना?
Yes.
So John Hick is very famous for theodicy, but Aquinas has given in a minor way. हम कोशिश करेंगे कि theodicy लिखे तो John Hick का लिखे. That is soul making theory.
Okay.
Free willist, okay. Instrumentalist view, ठीक है. Evil is the means for greater good. Evil is an means में क्या आ जाएगा? This is an example of
मतलब है सर उसी का पार्ट, बट जनरली एक्सटेंशन के तौर पे हमेशा पढ़ाया गया है, तो इस वजह से मैंने अलग लिख दिया.
हाँ, नहीं, लाइबनिट्स का ये व्यू नहीं है. लाइबनिट्स का प्रॉब्लम ऑफ इविल या लाइबनिट्स का डिफेंस ऑफ गॉड पीपल आर टीचिंग रॉन्ग. लाइबनिट्स हैज गिवन अ वेरी गुड आइडिया ऑन दिस.
Okay.
Privation of good means it is not real.
जी सर.
This view is given by people like Spinoza and Shankaracharya, where they are calling evil as an illusion.
हाँ जी सर.
तो illusion क्यों कह रहे हैं? क्योंकि कहते हैं कि भाई evil जो है ignorance से आया है, जैसे ignorance हट जाएगा evil will disappear. So that is why they are saying evil is unreal. ठीक है. Buddhism has given a logical explanation of evil or logical reconciliation of evil in the first and second noble truth.
जी सर.
There is suffering, there is a cause for suffering, right?
हम्म.
Dukh and dukh, yes. ठीक है, you have understood the question that evil poses a challenge with theist answer so that religion can have a firm foundation. Okay.
जी सर.
Okay, theist accepts at least two propositions. Saras also was writing the same thing in a different manner, theologically and non-theologically. So Saras ye dekhi, these are the arguments where theologically also theist is not just against God's will but challenging God's existence and God's attributes.
ओके सर. जी सर.
So theist will accept a personal God whose most important power is power of creation. God has many attributes: omnipotent, benevolent, omniscient. However, these are not to be reconciled with the fact that both moral and natural evil exists in the world. Why? Because if God is omnipotent and still evil exists, God is not willing to prevent evil. That is, he is not a benevolent God.
जी सर.
If God is willing to prevent the evil but not able to, God is not omnipotent. Okay. Thus, the concept of evil and profane play a significant yet discomforting role to provide a firm foundation. How? By theists propounding defense or arguments against
problem
yes
of evil.
arguments against problem of evil. यहाँ पर और अच्छी लाइन होती है अगर आप लिख देते कि the problem of evil is so important for religion that it is used as an argument against the existence of God, and therefore it becomes important for theists to propound arguments against the problem of evil to prevent their faith from becoming blind faith. They give various arguments such and such and such ऐसे करके. ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है. bitter pill for theists to swallow. ठीक है. ठीक है. various grounds. Very good. Instrumentalist view, evil is for moral excellence. Evil is prophylactic. प्रोफाइलैक्टिक किसको कहते हैं? वो आपने देखा सिगरेट पे लिखा रहता है वार्निंग वार्निंग, एक ग्रोटेस्क्यू इमेज इज देयर. या फिर आप रोड पे देखते होंगे डेंजर ऐसे करके सिंबल बना रहता है ऑन द साइड्स ऑफ द रोड्स. यू मस्ट बी सीइंग लाइक सिर्फ ऐसा लिखा होगा डेंजर, ड्राइव स्लो, जस्ट दैट मच. सो दैट इज प्रोफाइलैक्टिक वार्निंग. सो इविल इज प्रोफाइलैक्टिक. रियलाइजेशन ऑफ गॉड. अच्छा ठीक है. However, write a conclusion. Evil, however, is not addressed logically, especially for monotheistic religions. Buddhism has given a scientific explanation for evil in the first and second noble truth, ऐसे बॉक्स में बना दीजिए, फर्स्ट नोबल ट्रूथ दुख और देयर इज सफरिंग। सेकेंड नोबल ट्रूथ दुख समुदाय और देयर इज कॉज ऑफ सफरिंग। ओके, यही बात को जैसे शेविया ने लिखा ना, दैट इज अ बेटर वे ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटिंग।
यस सर। हम
उसमें आप
अभी सर मैं गो थ्रू
हाँ,
कर रहा हूँ अभी पुरानी क्लासेस से ना, अभी पूरी हुई नहीं है।
कोई बात नहीं, आप पहुंच जाएंगे आप वहां तक। तो हम दो दो सेट ऑफ आर्गुमेंट्स कहेंगे गॉड के पास, कि गॉड जैसे आपने लिखा है गॉड इज द पर्सनल क्रिएटर। इनके पास पावर ऑफ क्रिएशन है और इनके कई सारे एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं। ये अपने आप को सर्वशक्तिमान, सर्वव्यापी, ओमनी प्रेजेंट, ओमनीसिएंट, ओमनी पोटेंट कहते हैं। लेकिन these two sets will not reconcile with another statement, evil exists both moral and physical। evil exists both moral and physical। why a and b cannot be? उसका आप एग्जाम्पल दे दीजिए। like she has given example, if god is omnipotent and still evil exists, so he is not interested, god not benevolent, he is not bothered about your suffering। or example 2, if god is benevolent but evil exists, यानी बेचारे हटा नहीं पा रहे, गॉड इज नॉट ओमनीपोटेंट। और इसके बाद आप लिखेंगे देयरफॉर evil is a big concern or a bitter pill, it is used as an argument against existence of god। और यहाँ के बाद जैसा कि सरस ने लिखा था, थीस फिर एक काउंटर देते हैं। काउंटर में वो क्या बातें करते हैं भाई, इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट व्यू है, देयर इज फ्री विलिस्ट डिफेंस, देयर इज evil is an illusion, soul making theodicy of John Hick। और फिर आप कंक्लूजन में क्या लिखेंगे कि आप भले मॉरल इविल को तो अकाउंट कर सकते हैं थ्रू दीज एक्सप्लेनेशंस, बट नेचुरल इविल स्टिल रिमेन्स अनअकाउंटेड। मॉरल इविल तो हो गया, बट नेचुरल इविल का कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं मिल पाता है। बुद्धा गिव्स साइंटिफिक एक्सप्लेनेशन और लॉ ऑफ कर्मा। और यू कैन राइट एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिक, दैट इज there is a difference, epistemological difference between God's knowledge and our knowledge। So any of those you can write, but आप ये लिखेंगे कि especially it is evil is a problem for monotheistic religions in your answer। okay, बाकी आपका देख लेते हैं एक बार। ये जो थीस्ट दे रहे हैं उसको आप तब लिखेंगे जब उन्होंने इविल ने बहुत बड़ा इनके लिए सवाल पैदा कर दिया है, ठीक है। यानी हमको इसमें आर्ग्यूमेंट्स को बहुत ज्यादा नहीं लिखना है, ठीक है। क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है, व्हाट रोल डू द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इविल एंड प्रोफेन प्ले। तो ये रोल प्ले करते हैं वो, कि वो आपकी जड़ें हिला दे रहे हैं, वो तो आप ये प्रूव कर दे रहे हैं कि गॉड डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट। तो फिर आप काउंटर करके रिलीजन को फर्म स्टैब्लिश करने के लिए ये आर्ग्यूमेंट्स दे रहे हैं, ठीक है। ठीक है. Slowly you are coming to what Leibniz has said, but not still there. Leibniz के arguments they are very very logical. Leibniz जब God को prove कर रहे होंगे, so he will be giving arguments from conservation of energy. He will be giving arguments even from mathematics. तो कहेंगे कि भाई वन 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 वन, ऐसे मैथमेटिक्स में कंटिन्यूटी रहती है. इन्फिनिटी भी बनेगा तो ऐसे वन से बनेगा. देयर कैनॉट बी सडन ब्रेक इन कंटिन्यूटी. तो ऐसे करके ही विल बी गिविंग आर्ग्यूमेंट्स फ्रॉम मैथमेटिक्स, आर्ग्यूमेंट्स फ्रॉम प्रिंसिपल ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी, एंड अ वेरी फेमस आर्ग्यूमेंट विच आई थिंक एवरीबडी वुड बी नोइंग, जिन्होंने कभी ये पढ़ा है, लॉ ऑफ सफिशिएंट रीजन. पढ़ा है किसी ने? लॉ ऑफ सफिशिएंट रीजन लाइबनिट्ज का आर्ग्यूमेंट है. भाई कहते कोई चीज को मान लो अगर आपके पास उसके लिए पर्याप्त, मतलब दैट इज प्राइमा फेसे ट्रू एंड यू डू नॉट हैव एविडेंस अगेंस्ट इट. भाई यही आर्गुमेंट तो लोग कहते हैं ना कि भगवान कहाँ है, दिखाओ, वेयर इज गॉड, व्हाट इज द प्रूफ. बट डू यू हैव प्रूफ दैट गॉड डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट? यस. So he will be giving law of sufficient reason. Anyways. ठीक है, इवोल्यूशनरी रोल है. इविल सहायता करेगा पारमार्थिक सत्य पे जाने के लिए. पर्पस ऑफ रिलीजन. ओके.
क्रिटिसिज्म के बाद से कंक्लूजन भी लिखना था, वो कंक्लूजन नहीं लिखा हुआ. ये क्रिटिसिज्म लिखा था यहाँ पे, फिर कंक्लूजन लिखना था.
अच्छा. हाँ, मतलब इसका मतलब यही है, इविल इज एन इल्यूजन.
यस सर.
फिर कंक्लूजन. तो एक्चुअली में ये क्वेश्चन में हमको आर्ग्यूमेंट्स डिटेल में नहीं लिखने, आर्ग्यूमेंट्स नहीं पूछ रहे हैं. वो तो पूछ रहे हैं कि ये क्या रोल वो करते हैं. व्हाट रोल डज कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इविल एंड प्रोफेन प्ले. व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन?
What role do the
What role do the
concept of evil and profane play to provide a firm foundation to a religion? To provide a firm foundation to a religion. To a religion. 2019.
So, according to atheists, every theist will accept the following two sets of propositions. Set 1, God is personal. God has the power of creation with which created this universe. Set 2, God has many attributes. God is omnipotent. all powerful, God is benevolent. However, both these sets of attributes cannot be reconciled with the fact that both moral and physical evil, both moral and physical evil exists in this world. For example, if God is omnipotent and still evil exists, God is not benevolent. If God is benevolent and still evil exists, God is not omnipotent. Therefore, the problem of evil becomes a bitter pill for theists to swallow. Problem of evil becomes a bitter pill for theists to swallow. So much so that it is used as a proof for non-existence of God. It is therefore important, और ऐसा लिख दीजिए, it is therefore essential, important की जगह essential for theists to defend against the problem of evil and profane for religion to have a firm foundation. They do so by propounding various arguments like instrumentalist view of tenant, evil is an instrument, or evil is a tool. For what purpose? To bring good, or it is without the realization of evil, you will not be able to realize uh, higher values like sympathy, forgiveness, etc. So, for example, evil is necessary for development of higher values like forgiveness, tolerance, etc. Free willist defense. Free willist defense given by the likes of Saint Thomas Aquinas. Sorry, Saint Augustine. Here you are seeing evil is due to misuse of free will. Evil is an illusion. और ऐसा लिखते हैं हम, we will write an intelligent argument here, not simply evil is an illusion. We will write evil is ultimately an illusion. According to Shankaracharya, evil disappears when true knowledge, which he calls as Brahma Gyan, various theodicies, very famous is John Hicks' soul-making theodicy. However, none of these arguments satisfactorily explain the presence and distribution of natural evil. A scientific explanation is found in Buddhist philosophy. Of Four Noble Truths. There is suffering, dukh, so this completes the answer. Okay. Now let us write the next question.